even better, plus 89. The 1-2. And that's off the glove of the pitcher. Charging Arcia at the bag, grabs it, throws over at first, and he made the play. How about that? That's two outstanding plays at short by Arcia tonight. Wow, bare hand pickup in front of the bag after it hit the glove of Schwellenbach.
Ball wasn't hit real hard, clips the glove of Schwellenbach. And then Arcia one hop, bare hand, knowing he's got one shot, one play. Unbelievable.
So a big out, and now a fly ball lifted out to right. It's carrying, track to the wall, and it is gone. It just sneaks over. A wall scraper here by Mark Vientos for his 26th home run of the year, and New York is on the board. Solo home run makes it 5-1.
I was just thinking the Mets sitting in the dugout right now going, all right, first job is to get Schwellenbach out of the game and get into their bullpen. And little cut fastball left out over the plate. Last at bat, Vientos hammered a fastball to right field for a single. He's looking for something away to do some damage, gets a cut fastball middle of the plate.
Now here's Tyrone Taylor on the right side. And he lifts a fly ball out into right center. Three converging on it. And the right fielder, Soler, is there to make the catch.
If you had any question if Schwellenbach was going back out, he is not. This will be the last hitter, the last out. He's done his job, given his team a great 7 innings. Somebody's getting hot in the bullpen for the Braves. I'm sure it's going to be a short leash.
I need to correct myself. It's Eli White now in right field for Atlanta because they made a defensive change coming into the 7th inning. So with 2 outs, here is Alvarez at the dish, the New York catcher. And he pops it off the end of the bat, and that is a souvenir off to the right. Alvarez in the 8-hole tonight, 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, one each of the middle infielders. The next from Schwellenbach. Swing and a miss. Boy, the timing way off there for the right-handed hitter on a splitter.
So the 7th inning, he breaks out the splitter. He hadn't thrown one until this inning. That's the second one he's thrown.
That's crazy.
I love it. I really do. Broke out the cutter in the 4th.
Yep. Now the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a foul tip and caught by the catcher. Darno hangs on to it. And despite the solo home run by Vientos, Schwellenbach got himself through 7 and has a 4-run lead. Time to stretch in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta 5, New York 1. This is Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is Carlin versus Joe. Chris Carlin, Joe Fortenbaugh.
How much longer do we have to indulge the idea that Davante Adams is happy in Vegas? If you're Joe Douglas right now, you need to be on the phone every couple of days. When are you going to trade him? Because that is a difference maker for the Jets, and for the Raiders, it's not a difference maker.
Carlin versus Joe. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Mike Greenberg, Greeny.
No one plays their quarterback in the preseason. You can't. You cannot run the risk of a guy getting hurt. September is really going to turn into what the preseason used to be, that we really cannot take too much from what we see. Let's just use Aaron Rodgers as an example. He's knocking off rust. He hasn't played in a game in 2 years. He quite literally hasn't played in a game in 2 years because he didn't take a snap in the preseason either. So he hasn't taken a snap in which he had a helmet and shoulder pads and a crowd and noise and a play clock running down and the defense is jumping around and doing whatever they're doing. And all the things that go into being a quarterback in the NFL, many of which we probably don't even think about, they have been involved in quite literally zero of that the entire offseason, going back to last, in some cases, January, in most cases, December. And it's probably going to stay that way, right? I would rather have a bad week or two than lose my quarterback in the preseason.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can watch and listen on the ESPN app.
Affordable, reliable.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team?
Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Two-hole hitter Ozzie Albies in on the right side. He gets started here in the bottom of the seventh inning for Atlanta. And he faces a new New York arm. Right-hander Adam Ottavino now on the mound. And he misses ball one here to start Albies. Ottavino wears 0 and works from the stretch with nobody on. The 1-0 pitch. That bounces in the dirt. 2-0 here to Albies, who's 1 for 3 tonight with a single RBI and a run scored.
Drafted 18 years ago by St. Louis. Played for St. Louis, Colorado, Yankees, Boston.
That's fouled off.
3 years with the Mets now. Features a sweeper 38% of the time. Sinker, cutter, four-seamer, changeup, slider. 720 career games coming into tonight.
The 2-1 pitch from Ottavino. Look out. The bat goes flying out of his hands and goes over the third base coach all the way to the tarp. That bat traveled about 120 feet through the air.
That might be one of the best tosses I've ever seen.
That's Olympic-like. Might need to get the pine tar.
Well, that dirt's not going to help the pine tar that he did have on it. Just picked up a bunch of dirt on the warning track. I think that'd be a good Olympic sport.
Be a great sport. Bat toss.
Bat toss.
Well, much like my partner, I hope somebody repaired his, I guess, bat mark, not ball mark, like you would do when you're sticking greens on the golf course. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes after that strange cut. Ottavino, with his right foot on the first base side of the rubber, deals. Little humpback liner right to the shortstop. Acuna's got it. 1 gone. So Albies is retired. That's how we start things in the bottom of the 7th. 5-1 Braves. And now Mr. Power, Marcell Ozuna, who smashed one in the 5th for his 39th of the year over the right field wall. I got this note. See, this is why I'm glad you're here, former big league pitcher Greg Olson. I got this note here on Ottavino. I'll share it with you after this first pitch. It's on the way, and it's slash foul, opposite side. It says here Ottavino's cutter has 12%, I beg your pardon, 122% more horizontal break than the league average. You want to help me translate that one?
Yeah, I mean, it breaks more than everybody else's does.
Nice work.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, 0-1 here to Ozuna. Leg lift and pitch. Bender misses inside.
I mean, Ottavino's a funky pitcher. You know, to stay around as long as he has, he's got some uniqueness to him. He's got a drop and drive, and then that would, for me, elicit like a higher three-quarter arm angle coming out.
He deals the 1-1. Just the outside edge.
But as he comes, the arm angle's below three-quarters, a little bit lower, and so it's almost for Mets fans like a Sid Fernandez low arm slot coming at you, and it's just a great slot for a sweeper slider.
Now the 2-1 to Ozuna. And again, he stays away from the big right-handed hitter. This one sweeps outside, 79 miles per hour on that pitch.
I think I would throw that all the time if I had that thing. I mean, that started inside corner to Ozuna and ended up 6 inches outside.
It's a wiffle ball. 3-1. That one finds the zone. Now we're full. Marte is deep and right, rightfully so. Ozuna with power to all fields. Raised his average tonight to .310 on the year. 1 for 3 thus far. Again, the home run in the 5th. 1 gone. 5-1 Braves here in the 7th. Payoff pitch. Outside for ball 4. There haven't been too many walks. In fact, the Braves walked for just the 2nd time tonight. So Ozuna's aboard here with 1 gone. That'll bring up Matt Olson.
Just having an unbelievable year. One of only 2 major leaguers. The other one's Ohtani, to lead his team in batting average, home runs, RBIs, and walks.
Pretty good company.
Yeah.
First pitch swinging. Olson sends a souvenir off to the left side. Olson came into tonight batting .271 since the All-Star break. Better than his season average of .247. He reached in his first 2 plate appearances. Modest lead at first. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a fly ball. Out to left field. With a lot of room for Nimmo here in front of the track. He positions himself and makes the catch. 2 away. There's not much breeze here tonight. Winds out of the south at 7 miles an hour. And Old Glory is basically against the pole out in right center field. It'll move every once in a while. But anything hit here tonight will not be wind aided. And now Eli White up for the first time tonight. The pitch to the right-handed hitters, low and away, ball 1. White, a defensive replacement last inning, taking Jorge Soler's spot in right field. He's a .286 hitter. The next from Ottavino. Steve Reich in there to even the count 1-1. There's that sinker from that arm slot you were talking about, Greg.
Yeah, he just does not throw very many fastballs. He'll work a couple sinkers, 24%, and then a whole lot of sweepers.
Small lead at first. 2 gone now. And the next. Swinging a 1 hopper right at the third baseman. Vientos gloves, throws all the way across, and makes a play. That's a hot shot and well played by Vientos. No runs, no hits. There was a runner left on base. We're through 7 now tonight in Atlanta, and the Braves lead the Mets 5-1. This is Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
He's outrageous and usually off base, I might add, but I love him anyways. That's why I sit across from the Mad Dog, Christopher Mad Dog Russo, every Wednesday to set him straight. First Take starts at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Beware the MLB wildcards. They're here to catch fire, to bring the heat, and light up the scoreboard.
This is smoked.
Because this is the MLB postseason.
Buckle up. You never know what can happen.
Where all it takes is one hot streak to make a run for the title. Welcome to October. The MLB Wildcard Series, October 1st through the 3rd on ESPN.
For the first time, U.S. subscribers can stream MLB Network 24/7, including select out-of-market games.
Swing and a drive. It's deep. It's gone. Yes.
Stream minor league affiliates.
Home run number 1. Or draft pick number 1.
Plus, get MLB Big Inning and live audio for all 30 teams.
Baseball can't get better than this.
Experience the game like never before with MLB Network and At-Bat, your all-in-one baseball destination. Only $6.99 per month. Visit MLB.com/at-bat for details. Blackout and other restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission.
This is Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
With Greg Olson, Sean Kelly back at Truist Park. We go to the 8th inning, and Atlanta leads New York 5-1. Atlanta comes into the ballgame tonight, a game and a half behind Arizona for the last wild card spot available in the National League. 2 games back of New York. And this 3-game series will go a long way in setting up the weekend and how this could finish up. And could Atlanta, after not winning the division for the first time in 6 years, can they get in? And the first pitch from a new pitcher is in there for a strike. Joe Jimenez. Greg Olson is the new arm here for Atlanta, facing Acuna in the 9-hole. The 0-1 pitch. He evens the count 1-1 as he missed upstairs.
It's going to feature a four-seam fastball slider. Slider more, almost 50% of the time. But this guy has been flat dealing in the 8th inning for the Braves.
Acuña 0 for 2. He was robbed his last time up. And he's got a good eye on that 94-mile-an-hour pitch. Upstairs to make it 2-1.
Opponents on the season are batting 175 off Jimenez.
Yikes. 144 against his slider. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2. Boy, trying to knock one out of the ballpark there. Acuña.
Here's a good one for you, partner.
Yes, sir.
He's got an expected ERA of 2.5, but his ERA on the season.
2-2, ground ball trying to get up the middle, ranging to his left. Arcia got a glove on it, dropped it, picks it up, spins, throws, but not in time. Good speed up the first base line. And Acuña's aboard for the first time tonight. Albies is shaking his thumb. He was there trying to back up and help out Arcia on the ball that kicked toward the edge of the turf.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened, but he's staring down at his finger right here, getting a replay. Ball kicks out of Arcia's glove. Should go down as a second error. I don't know if he got stepped on by Arcia.
Maybe. They actually scored a base hit. And the pitch is inside corner for strike one here to the top of the order, Jose Iglesias.
I'm just going to say no.
Sure?
No, it's not. It's not a base hit. It's a fairly routine ground ball to short.
Outfield straight away. Iglesias 1 for 3 tonight. And he takes one outside, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's go back to your expected ERA.
But his expected ERA is 2.5.
Sure.
So I'm going, well, the expected ERA is probably supposed to be lower than the regular ERA because it doesn't factor in the bloops and the soft contact.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a spinner foul. Goes 3 different directions behind home plate.
So I'm just going to leave that at that. I'm confused.
I'm going to go home and tell my wife about my expected chore total. See what she says about that.
See how it goes over?
Yes. 1-2 pitch. She would tell me that sets up in a way, but my expected chore list is higher than my actual chore list.
Well done.
It's been a rough season. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Next from the right-hander, Jimenez. That bounces foul down the third base side. Let's get you a little snapshot on how good Spencer Schwellenbach was tonight, the starter for Atlanta. He threw 87 pitches, 62 for strikes. And it's the 11th straight outing for the right-handed rookie where he's allowed 3 or fewer runs. The next, swing and a miss. And out on strikes is Iglesias for the first time tonight. 1 gone. In all, Schwellenbach goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
He was just really good. I mean, he was in command the whole game. Had a little bit of a blip walking Alonso in the second inning, worked around that. Had a little traffic in the third. Just rock solid.
Now Brandon Nimmo, the left-handed hitter, takes one high for ball 1. Nimmo's 0 for 3 tonight. He did reach on an error in the third inning. And the third baseman here, Urshela, is way toward the hole and a couple of steps behind the baseline. Arcia is more toward the bag, the pitch. Fouled off and straight back. So there's a ton of hitting room down the third base side. The outfield pretty much straight away here. As the Braves out there defensively in the home whites tonight lead at 5-1. Nimmo with the shin guard on that right foot, backing and ready. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He's tardy on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Joe Jimenez wears number 77. And he peers over his shoulder at that runner at first base. Acuña has attempted to steal in his short run in the big leagues and was caught stealing. The pitch is down and in. Getting a whole different look here from Jimenez than you got from Schwellenbach for sure.
Absolutely.
That's a changeup.
I think Jimenez is kind of staying away from the slider, working mainly fastball changeup. And as I said, slider's been his main pitch.
2-2. Roped at the first baseman. It's off Olson's glove. It doesn't go too far. He dives to the bag with the baseball and touches first base to retire Nimmo. Boy, and you got to realize here, Olson's playing in front of the runner basically, so he's less than 90 feet away, and that thing rockets off his glove. Somehow didn't kick too far away. Over to second is Acuna, but there are 2 outs, and now time call.
I mean, it almost looks like he should have caught it. You know, he's reaching back to his left. Well, he's left-handed, so it's just a play right there. Yes, it was hit hard, but he was looking it in. It just clipped off the edge of the glove, and the Braves are lucky that ball stayed within about 8 feet.
Yep.
Because Jimenez didn't cover. So if Olson's not able to get back and get the play by himself, that's going to be a base hit.
So 2 outs, but a runner in scoring position now for New York, who trails by 4. And Starling Marte is at the dish 0 for 3. Right-handed hitter, and he swings and misses on the first pitch. Jimenez kicks the dirt in front of the rubber and now re-engages. Comes set, belt high, then raises the glove to his chin. Kicks and delivers. Off speed and a beauty. In there for called strike number 2.
That might be the second slider we've seen. And he's been known, that's all he throws is sliders. 50% of the time, he's only thrown 2. It's like he's trying to stay away from it, trying to get guys out without his out pitch.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. No runs, a hit, 1 left on base. Joe Jimenez in the 8th keeps it a 4-run game. 5-1, Atlanta leads New York. This is Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The hunt for October continues on ESPN Radio.
A 3-run homer for Pete Alonso.
The last week of the regular season is here, and the race for the final 2 National League playoff spots is coming down to the wire. And 2 teams in the thick of it go head-to-head when the New York Mets face the Atlanta Braves. The Mets at the Braves. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, with first pitch at 7:20 Eastern on ESPN Radio. College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Watching downfield. Touchdown, Texas.
The top-ranked Texas Longhorns head into their first SEC opener against the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State takes the lead. Yeah, that's how I get by.
Mississippi State at number 1 Texas. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, with kickoff at 4:15 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Lord, that's how I get by.
Visit roberthalf.com today.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
You're listening to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Atlanta will come to bat with a 5-1 lead here. I don't know if we label this must-win for Atlanta, but you may as well in this situation.
I think you do.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the same will go for tomorrow night and maybe even Thursday night too.
At least, I think they got to be looking at it like, let's get 2 out of 3. We'll deal with the third day.
Yes.
Go get game 1. That's the first thing.
Ramon Laureano to lead it off here in the bottom of the 8th, and he's facing yet another new arm. Now the left-hander Danny Young on the mound for New York, and he's ahead 0-1. Florida Gator Danny Young, the pitch. Down and in.
How many Florida Gators are roaming around here?
Well, it's interesting because not only we talked about Alonso and Bader earlier, but the Mets minor league pitcher of the year, just named earlier today, is Brandon Sproat. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off the end of the bat. Sproat was a part of Florida's national runner-up team in 2023, and now is the minor league pitcher of the year in the Mets farm system. Another member of that staff, Greg, for the Gators was Hurston Waldrop. Swinging a fly ball, roped down the left field line, and that is a nice draw foul.
I like both of those guys when I got to see him play.
Yeah, Waldrop is in the Braves organization. Got called up earlier this year, didn't go so well, but he ended up in AAA with Gwinnett.
Yeah, but that's a fast rush through the minor leagues.
Agreed. 1-2 pitch, bounces in the dirt. I feel like some more guys coming up, and again, you have more perspective on this than I do. A few more guys that have kind of raced through here of late than maybe 10, even 15, certainly 20 years ago. Pitch. Swinging a line drive right at the first baseman. Stabbed by Alonso. And Laureano is retired here for the third time tonight. One gone.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of theories to it. In the old days, you'd build them up and work on them and bring them up when their time was right. Now it feels like it's a little bit more rushed, and it might be, if their mechanics are flawed, you might feel like, and this is a sad thing to say, that they might blow out. And so we got to rush them up, get them to the big leagues, get the best out of them we got.
Now Darno, and he takes strike one in the outside corner.
And I have heard a major league organization talk about that. Hey, this guy's got really poor mechanics, great stuff. It's not going to last very long. Let's get him to the big leagues.
Well, one is in the dirt. Well, let's hope that's not the case with some of these young arms we're seeing come up now.
I agree.
Sooner than ever. But obviously, we watched Schwellenbach tonight. I mean, young pitcher who's just, he was crushed it.
2022 from Nebraska?
Yes. And he was a two-way guy. He played shortstop for the Huskers as well. As Young misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to the Braves catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. Left on right here. 1 gone in the 8th. And Atlanta leading 5-1. d'Arnaud's 0 for 3. The pitch. Good frame job, and it nabs the outside corner.
See, then we got to go back to that pop-up that he got called off on. This guy was a college shortstop.
Right.
He should be able to catch a pop-up.
He should.
All right, I'm done with that point.
That was an infield pop-up earlier tonight. Bristled my partner. Fastball's on the inner edge. Strike 3 called. d'Arnaud's down on strikes for the second time tonight, and the Braves catcher ends up 0 for 4. And peers back at Danny Young and says, I didn't see that coming.
Well, it was sweeper, sweeper, sweeper. Danny Young's a low arm slot left-hander. And so this ball looks like it's starting out the left-handed batter's box and then sweeps back in and catches the outer part of the plate. Well, the one fastball he throws at d'Arnaud.
Gio Urshela now, and the first to him was in for strike 1.
It's painted on the inside corner.
Had some sink on it. Urshela's 1 for 3. Right-handed hitter, the 0-1 pitch. Down low. Urshela doubled in the 6th, but he was stranded. Batting .251 up to the minute. Garcia's on deck. We will only see him if Urshela reaches. And the fastball outside. More like a sinker, I guess. Makes it 2-1.
I like what the Braves are doing tonight, though. It's come in, get guys a couple, 1 inning of work, give them a little bit of getting them back on track.
The Mets, you mean?
The Mets, excuse me.
Swinging a 2-hopper to the third baseman. Vientos throws off balance, but right on the money over to first base. And Danny Young.
Nice job. The Mets, other than the home run in the 5th inning, they did a nice job coming in 1 inning, getting some work, touching things up, being ready for the rest of the week.
1-2-3 in the 8th, and it's 5-1. Atlanta leads New York. We're off to the 9th. You're listening to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
What's poppin', y'all? On this episode of the Numbers on the Board podcast, we talked about what we each would do if we were the commissioner of the NBA. Also had the pleasure of ranking our top 10 power forwards. You want to stick around and see who got to that top 3. As always, check us out on wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is a moment for Brock Purdy to show, you know what? I am worthy of $60 million a year. I'm not just a jag, just a guy that's thrusted into this offense. I'm a guy that can throw with anticipation. I'm a guy that my teammates can count on. And I'm a guy that's been the starting quarterback the last 2 years when we made a Super Bowl and also an NFC Championship game.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Monday Night Football gears up for another double lineup. On ESPN at 7:15, DeAndre Hopkins and the Titans head to South Beach to take on Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. And on ABC at 8, DK Metcalf and the Seahawks face Jared Goff and the Lions in Motown. Titans-Dolphins Monday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And Seahawks-Lions at 8 on ABC.
This is Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Right-handed closer, Raisel Iglesias is on the mound now for the Atlanta Braves as we go to the ninth inning, 5-1 in favor of Atlanta, trying to take game one of this series and have a one-game edge in the all-season series with the Mets, with 2 more to play, including tomorrow night on ESPN Radio. First pitch swinging. Alonso sends it to right field, deep to the track, ranging toward the pole, and Eli White's there in time to make it a catch right against the foul line. So Alonso's retired on one pitch by Raisel Iglesias. And again, Greg, with a 4-run lead, I still want to bring it up. In 35 opportunities, Iglesias this year, 32 saves. Certainly not kind of in play, just to give you some perspective on how good he's been at the back end here for Atlanta.
He's been their guy, and I was a little surprised.
Check swing, little roller to the second baseman. Winker is retired as Albies uses the glove to scoop and flip over to the bag to get the out.
Well, I was going to say I was a little surprised they brought him into the game. Brian Snitker said that he's been so efficient in some of his work lately that's the reason. Well, as a closer, I hated 4-run leads because I'm not really completely engaged. Adrenaline's a little bit short.
Yeah.
And as I say that, he goes bing, bing, 2 outs.
Now Vientos, and he actually takes a pitch.
He has to.
Right, 2 outs on 2 pitches.
He has to. You cannot allow a 3-pitch inning.
Vientos homered his last time up, and he takes this one outside on a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But Iglesias threw 2 innings in a needed win.
1-1, popped up. Right side, playable here. Olsen drifting back. White comes in, and the right fielder makes the catch. And that'll do it. The Atlanta Braves take game 1 of this huge series against the New York Mets by the final score of 5-1. Mets go 1-2-3 in the top of the ninth inning. It couldn't have gone any better for Brian Snitker and the Braves tonight to now position themselves perhaps maybe within a half game of the postseason, depending on what Arizona does later tonight.
I mean, everything went the way they needed. They get a huge start from Schwellenbach. The offense comes out, gets 3 runs in the 3rd inning, adds a couple more insurance runs. Schwellenbach was really good for 7. Bullpen does what they've been doing all year. Jimenez and Iglesias clean it up. Mets really never got anything started offensively, only 4 hits. None of those were really even loud. And you just kind of feel like, wow, you know what? Whatever momentum the Braves have had over the last couple weeks, the last 3 months, just got wiped away.
Schwellenbach's the winner tonight, and he improves to 8-7. Severino takes the loss. He's 11-7 now on the year. 5 runs on 10 hits, an error, 4 left on base for the Braves in the win. 1 run on 4 hits, an error, and 5 left on base for the New York Mets. So, Atlanta not only now closing in on Arizona, but finds themselves a game back of New York with still 2 games to play in this series. Dandy matchup tomorrow night. We'll have it here on ESPN Radio. Sale and Peterson, a pair of left-handers, should be fun in game 2.
I'm looking so forward to it. The Braves did what they needed to do, and the pressure is now dialed over to the other dugout.
2 hours and 16 minutes it took to play this one tonight. Enjoyed it. Greg Olson, I'll see you tomorrow night. 5-1 the final score again. Atlanta over the Mets. For Greg Olson, producer Mike Martino, and our engineer Brian Neal. I'm Sean Kelly from Truist Park in Atlanta. Now let's send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the postgame show.
216? You guys are hired. You're hired to do every game the rest of the way. That's it. Don't care what it takes. God bless it. More importantly, for the Atlanta Braves, of course, they get the 5-1 victory. The Sky Printed broadcast is presented by the authority. The Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. The highlights of how the Braves got a must-win series off to a good start comes your way next. This is Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
I'm Clinton Yates, kiddos, host of the podcast ESPN Daily. Every weekday morning, I'll bring you the best sports story you'll hear all day. Today on ESPN Daily. It's part 4 of our series, Death of a Sports Town. With Oakland's final Major League game happening this Thursday, we turn to the one question we've yet to explore. Does a move to Las Vegas make any sense for the Athletics? That's ESPN Daily. Follow us and listen wherever you get good podcasts.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Any win early in the season for the Jets is consequential. Think about what a hot mess they were last year. This is them proving to themselves that they can get it together, that they can be a functional franchise, that they can be a functional offense and have a functional quarterback. We have not seen this from the New York Jets in a long time.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Bank of America N.A.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Are you ready to step up to the plate and take your shot at $5.6 million? It's time to play MLB's Beat the Streak. It's simple. Pick a player to get a hit and your streak continues. The longer the streak, the bigger the prize. Get 56 picks right in a row and you'll be the first ever to win the $5.6 million grand prize. Play now inside the MLB app on iOS and Android or on MLB.com and make your streak count. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older to play. Other restrictions apply. See official rules and enter at www.mlb.com/play.
You're listening to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Cars, homes, boats, and motorcycles, RVs, and more, all available at Progressive.com. Braves and the Mets, first of a massive, massive three-game weekday series. Mets have the second spot in the National League wildcard chase. Mets 2 games back of the Braves 2 games back of the Mets, game and a half back of the Diamondbacks. Braves pretty much had to come into this series thinking they got to get 2. Get it. You have to get at least 2 to give yourself a shot going to the weekend. Bottom of the third inning, they already got a run home on a Michael Harris RBI double. Ozzie Albies is up.
Now Albies with an RBI opportunity. Ground ball right side. Back it through. It does. It's past Iglesias. Rounding third is Harris. Here's the throw to the plate. It's wide. Run scores. And taking second base on a very aggressive move from first to second is Ozzie Albies.
And then he scores on, Albies would score on the Ramon Laureano RBI single. It's a 3-run bottom of the third for the Braves, 3-0 lead. We go to the fourth inning. Let's start in the top half of the fourth inning because Michael Harris would rob Ronald Acuna Jr.
1-2. Swing, and he shoots this one out in the center, laying out and stabbing it. With a diving catch is, guess who? Michael Harris. Have a night.
Yeah, because here's what he also did.
Kicksand deal, the 1-2. Swinging a fly ball out to left field. Nimmo to the track, to the wall. Gone! Home run, Michael Harris. How hot is the Atlanta center fielder? He touches them all, and he's 3 for 3 tonight. And now just a triple away from the cycle.
What a day for Michael Harris. Braves would also add a Marcell Ozuna home run because this ball traveled really far.
Swinging a fly ball. Well hit. Out to right. Marte to the track, to the wall. Adios. Home run, Marcell Ozuna. Number 39 toward the chop house in right field. And now it is 5-0 Atlanta.
5-1 would be your final. Spencer Schwellenbach would do just fine on the hill. Thank you very much. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Solo home run. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Schwellenbach with the win. Braves get a must-needed victory, 5-1, as they set the stage for Game 2 of the series coming up tomorrow. I'm Kevin Winter. You listen to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Hey, it's Greeny, and it's time to turn the page towards Week 4 in the NFL season, which is a fascinating one, starting with the Cowboys and Giants. Could Dallas be in all kinds of trouble if they drop this one? We'll talk about that and more. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The Baseball Tonight podcast.
When you talk to other Dodger players and they talk about Ohtani, it's almost like they're discussing a being from another universe that they can't comprehend. I mean, that is how much better he is than anything that they've ever seen. Without a doubt, the greatest game ever. Who's going to top that? 6 for 6, 3 homers, 10 RBI, and hit 2 milestones 50-50.
The Baseball Tonight podcast is on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are Lions International, the world's largest service organization. We are volunteers committed to strengthening our communities and supporting those in need, one act of kindness at a time. For more than a century, Lions have been serving a world in need, right here in our community and around the world. Lions International makes the impossible possible. This is your invitation to join us, because the only thing missing from our mission to make a difference is you. Visit lionsclubs.org to find a local Lions Club near you.
What's poppin', y'all? On this episode of the Numbers on the Board podcast, we talked about what we each would do if we were the commissioner of the NBA. Also had the pleasure of ranking our top 10 power forwards. You want to stick around and see who got to that top 3. As always, check us out on wherever you get your podcast.
The NWSL is so on, and now it's on ESPN. From rookies to rising stars to legends of the game, the world's best players battle it out in pursuit of an NWSL championship. The NWSL on ESPN, presented by Ally, all season long on the networks of ESPN and ABC. It's so on.
La Liga on ESPN+.
What a wonderful atmosphere.
All 380 matches in English y Español. The global stars.
Lewandowski, fantastic finish.
The historic rivalries.
The old and bitter enemies clashing again.
The beauty and the passion of La Liga on ESPN+. Sign up for ESPN Plus at espnplus.com/soccer for the love of La Liga.
You have cancer. There's nothing you can do to prepare yourself.
Round 1 of chemotherapy. I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna survive. There's no way I'm gonna let this take over me.
It may not save my life. It may save my children's life. It may save someone you love.
Wait, get this cancer about you. Let's do it.
Live. Fight like hell. And when you get too tired to fight, let somebody else fight for you. To fight, let somebody else fight for you.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Visit v.org/donate.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, they haven't looked dominant, but I'll tell you why you shouldn't be concerned about the fact that the Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor.
Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursday.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive. She's in VFib. 1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Series premiere Thursday, 9/8 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
You're listening to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
I'm Kevin Winter. Braves with a 5-1 win over the Mets. Massive win for Atlanta. Our dependable performance of the day brought to you by Depend of the Prostate Cancer Foundation, reminding you that health is a long game and screening for prostate cancer is easier than ever. Learn more at Depend.com. Our dependable performance is Michael Harris of the Braves.
Swinging a line drive into right field by Harris. That's down and he'll score a run. Arcee is around third. He'll score. And an RBI double for Michael Harris. He's got a pair of hits on the night. Picks up RBI number 47. And it's Atlanta who strikes first here in the bottom of the third inning. Kicksand deals the 1-2. Swinging a fly ball out to left field. Nimmo to the track, to the wall. Gone! Home run, Michael Harris. How hot is the Atlanta center fielder? He touches them all, and he's 3 for 3 tonight. And now just a triple away from the cycle. 1-2. Swing, and he shoots this one out into center, laying out and stabbing it with a diving catch is, guess who? Michael Harris. Have a night.
Pick one to be our Getting It Done Play of the Game, brought to you by Grainger, with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. He was also the pregame guest with Sean Kelly. I texted Sean during the game. I said, Michael is going to request that he speak with you before Wednesday night's game. Braves win 5-1. We'll be back with you on Wednesday night for Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio. Game 2 of the series. We'll start our coverage 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, SportsCenter all night later tonight has everything in the world of baseball. Up next, it is game night across the ESPN Radio Network. I'm Kevin Winter. We thank you for listening to Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app.
Hi, it's Mina Kimes. On the latest episode of The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, I am joined, as always, by Dominique Foxworth to recap Jaden Daniels' breakout game and Josh Allen's MVP case. The Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny is available wherever you get your podcasts.
Here you go. I got all the eyes on me. Center stage is all or nothing.
Here we go, y'all. This is it. 8 teams left. All aiming for that shit.
Far from the logo.
Domination from the New York Liberty. Have a night. See. The journey to the top starts here.
Las Vegas Aces on top again. That girl's incredible. She's something special. I know.
The WNBA playoffs, presented by Google on the networks of ESPN.
ABC Saturday Night Football. Top 5 conference rivals collide.
The old foes, Georgia and Alabama.
The winner gathers huge momentum.
This game feels absolutely massive.
Georgia is out for revenge, and a new era rolls for the Tide in the biggest game of the year.
Who's going to survive the gauntlet?
Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Number 2 Georgia and number 4 Alabama. Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC and streaming on ESPN+.
I'm Clinton Yates, kiddos, host of the podcast ESPN Daily. Every weekday morning, I'll bring you the best sports story you'll hear all day. Today on ESPN Daily. It's part 4 of our series, Death of a Sports Town. With Oakland's final Major League game happening this Thursday, we turn to the one question we've yet to explore. Does a move to Las Vegas make any sense for the Athletics? That's ESPN Daily. Follow us and listen wherever you get good podcasts.
Beware the MLB wildcards. They're here to catch fire, to bring the heat, and light up the scoreboard.
This is smart.
Because this is the MLB postseason.
Buckle up. You never know what can happen.
Where all it takes is one hot streak to make a run for the title. Welcome to October. The MLB Wildcard Series, October 1st through the 3rd on ESPN.
You have cancer. There's nothing you can do to prepare yourself.
Round 1 of chemotherapy. I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna survive. There's no way I'm gonna let this take over me.
Cancer doesn't care what you look like, who you are.
It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love.
You ain't get this cancer about you. Let's do it.
Live. Fight like hell. And when you get too tired to fight, let somebody else fight for you.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Visit v.org/donate.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, they haven't looked dominant, but I'll tell you why you shouldn't be concerned about the fact that the Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN 2, and ESPN.
Drop it in with your regular recycling, or it will be renewed.
That's on ESPN Plus. 300 matches in English y Español. The global stars.
Lewandowski, fantastic finish.
Historic rivalries.
The old and bitter enemies clashing again.
The beauty and the passion of La Liga on ESPN Plus. Sign up for ESPN Plus at espnplus.com/soccer for the love of La Liga.
He has shown he is somebody that will ruin careers very quickly. He has done it on the coaching front, and now he is doing it on the player front.
Carlin versus Joe. Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN app, and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I think Nick Sirianni be real why the Philadelphia Eagles don't make the playoffs. I can't get this out of my head, Smalls, but Nick's
football better show better than any TV.
Well, thank you. I agree with you. I think this show's more fun than some of the games are exciting, but there's some pretty tedious games.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Harry, what is the best sauce in your humble and solicited opinion?
There's nothing better than some creamy ranch sauce. So I'm going with ranch as my number one because I love the way it tastes. I love the way it makes me feel. I love that you can put it on just about any and everything. And it just gives me that feeling.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Launching downfield, touchdown Texas!
The top-ranked Texas Longhorns head into their first SEC opener against the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State takes the lead.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
Mississippi State at number 1 Texas. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern with kickoff at 4:15 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Lord, that's how I get by.
Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The Braves win a big opener in Atlanta, top the Mets 5-1. Braves pull a little closer to a playoff spot in an important game. Michael Harris had everything working.
Dixon deals the 1-2. Swinging a fly ball out to left field. Nimmo to the track, to the wall. Gone! Home run! Michael Harris. How hot is the Atlanta center fielder? He touches them all, and he's 3 for 3 tonight. And now just a triple away from the cycle.
Call from ESPN Radio. Harris finished with 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Marcell Ozuna added a solo shot. Spencer Swellenbach went 7 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 4. Only hiccup, a Mark Vientos solo homer. Braves move within a game of the Mets in the NL wildcard race. They're a half game back of the Diamondbacks. Arizona scoreless in the second against the Giants. Elsewhere, Yankees' magic number to clinch the AL East is 1. Can do it with a win over the Orioles tonight, but Baltimore is on top 5-3 in the top of the 9th inning. Anthony Santander and Colton Cowser have gone deep. Yankees getting an Aaron Judge solo homer to get him on the board. His 56th of the year. Juan Soto adding an RBI double. In WNBA, Liberty knock off the Dream 91-82 to sweep the series. Sabrina Ionescu with a game-high 36. Alicia Gray led the Dream with 26.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, Sam Darnold and Justin Fields are off to fast starts. I'll tell you what you should expect from them for the rest of the season. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ESPN Radio.
Aaron Rodgers, say what?
But it's more like a nice, slow bolero, you know, where we're just swaying with the music.
Forgive my ignorance. What's a Palermo? Don't start getting me to translate.
It's a slow, long Latin song.
I like that. I can groove to that. Like, what is the #1 song on the Palermo charts? Is what I'm wondering. Selena. You know, I want to see a list so I can listen to these and kind of just pull up Selena. You can't go wrong. I don't know if she do Palermo.
It's characterized by sophisticated lyrics dealing with love.
A.K.A. Selena. Of course, Aaron Rodgers only listens to the most sophisticated music. If you're going to listen to someone, listen to Selena. Why do you not want to listen to me? Okay.
This is Game Night with Q Myers on ESPN Radio.
Or you can listen to Vicente Fernandez. I'll go ahead and add that to the collection. Just saying. All right, Vicente Fernandez. That's actually my homeboy's relative's cousin by way of his uncle's baby mama. You got that? Oh, all right, yeah, I definitely got that. So baby mama, uncle, cousins. A.K.A. kinfolk. There you go. There it is. He's Evan Bolton. I'm Q Myers. It's Game Night on ESPN Radio on the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, and tune in. We are presented by Progressive Insurance, and we like to let you know what caught our attention. We like to do it like this.
Made you look. Game Night. Made you look. Made you look.
All right, Emmett, I know it's not Selena. I know it's not Vicente Fernandez. What caught your attention? Well, what made me look is Major League Baseball's wild card race. And it lightweight has me cross-eyed because I don't know what's going on here. What I do know is right now the Kansas City Royals are up 1-0 on the Nationals. It's the top of the 10th. They got 2 guys on with 2 out. And if they win, they will then be tied for the second wild card. They're already the 3rd. So honestly, nothing really changes. You know, they're still one of the top 3 teams. So you have that with the Twins still a game behind them. So it's still tight in the American League. Now, in the National League right now, the Mets and the Diamondbacks are tied for the second wild card. And you have the Braves a game behind them. So still very close. And you could see the Braves leapfrog the Diamondbacks or the Mets. You could see the Twins leapfrog the Royals or the Tigers. But as of today, they're bunched up. But it's kind of chalk with the Orioles in the first wild card, Tigers, Royals second and third in the American League. And the National League, Padres have the first wild card with the Mets and the Diamondbacks right now with the second and third.